Ram Ramji. We're back live with the quarantine specials. We're gonna be interviewing friends and associates from all around the world and see what they are up for during these times, the quarantine. Maybe I will even come up with some mixtape for that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So today I'm gonna be interviewing a friend of mine from Switzerland. He's the tattoo artist and a devotee of Krishna. He lived as a monk for several years. I think like 6 or 7 years or something like that. We're gonna ask him about it more and see what he's up for, how he is going through these somewhat difficult or interesting times. Hey, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to have you here with us, Nitai. How are you out there? Are you in Switzerland, right?
Yes.
Epic. So how is everything for you? How's your health?
Very good. Yes, thank you.
Okay. And what, first of all, Nitai is my friend here on Instagram. He has a wonderful tattoo page that he presents devotional artworks for everyone. So everyone out there who is into tattoos and spirituality, make sure you check his page. I'm going to link down in the description below to this video all the information to all the people who collaborated with me so far. And you've been a tattoo artist. Before you've been a tattoo artist, you were a full-time monk, right? I think you told me that once on the chat, 5 or 6 or 7 years, like a long period.
Yeah, 7 years, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's more than me. I'm this year I'm at transitioning already, so it's been 6 years.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm gonna need that, especially with all this chaos around. Yeah. And you in the tattoo industry, in terms of your material arrangement, spiritually, you're practicing your spiritual practice, and how things are affected for you in this day and time that we speak now with all the quarantine and I heard in Europe it's pretty big. How are you affected by that, or your practice, both material and spiritual?
Well, materially speaking, since the 17th of March, it's illegal to tattoo. So when they say it's up to 3 years prison or a big money penalty.
Achha.
So it's basically prohibited. It's completely illegal to tattoo under further announcement from the government.
They're afraid of some disease gonna spread there or things like that.
Exactly.
Although it's a complete, I remember myself, if some of you may know my story, I too was an apprentice for some time, for 2 years. And I remember the facility is it's a really sanitized room. It's like a surgical facility.
Yeah, you should work pretty clean. That's always better for sure. Yeah.
But they still are afraid.
They did ban because the contact between two persons will be too close from each other. So they also banned haircuts, salons, and things like that.
Haircuts.
Yeah, so barbershops are also closed, things like that, right?
Well, it comes to me an idea for a video to teach everyone how to shave their head without going to the hair salon. Yeah. That's a new thing that I wasn't aware of, that the hair salons there too, they're closed.
Yeah.
I heard that the people running out of toilet paper, we have an answer for that too.
Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? As toilet paper would save your life, no? But anyway, that's a different story. So, but also the government helps people who are self-employed, like tattooers, barbers, and so the government will eventually give some money, which we have to pay back at one point. But
so it's like a loan. Oh, that's tricky.
Yeah.
They always want something back.
Yeah, they don't take interest, so at least something.
Oh, okay. No interest. Because here in the States, I'm now actually in Alachua in Florida. I'm not from the States, I'm just visiting, but because of this quarantine, I'm just stuck here. And in the States, they do, I think in New York, they started handing paychecks for $1,200 or something like that, which is kind of nothing, especially if you live in New York City, but at least some interest the government shows. That's at least something. And speaking about your spiritual practice, because many people globally, I heard that their spiritual life is really enhanced. I just recently I published this story with how God, he took away from from us all the time that we put to cinemas and gatherings and parties and family union, and just so we will have no excuse to get in touch with God, get in touch with the Supreme like that. And how do you experience something global like that too, that people more like have awakening call or something like that?
Well, yeah. So on one level, it's also for my personal life. I feel like the call for going deeper in my spiritual life is like intense as not in 20 years. So it's like definitely for spiritual life, I think it's really positive energy.
If I hear you correctly, you said that you hadn't had such a push in the last like 20 years or something like that?
I never felt this deep
Wow.
or
Okay.
calling for like genuine spirituality in my heart since 20
Wow.
years or more.
Wow. So it's a real like a rising sun for you of your
Yeah,
self-realization. Wow. That's really inspiring to hear. Nice.
yeah. And many people I talk to are actually waking up in a sense that they don't believe anything anymore. So, and before, like when it comes up to news or propaganda, what I perceive, many people, they lose faith in what like major media companies telling us. So they start to like ask questions, but you know.
You perceive them more in a questioning phase and wonder.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Nice. And how do you like support the people around you? Like you live, I'm not sure about your living situation. You live alone, or you have a family or a wife, or because we didn't have a chance to really associate intimately up until now. So
Yeah. No, I live alone. I just with a cat but yeah, I live alone. So, but my family.
What's the name of the cat?
Nandi.
Nandi. Oh, that's a nice name. Nandani. Nice.
So yeah,
I have a friend. He has a name. He's a cat called Krishna. Called the cat
nice.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Black cat.
Yeah.
So you in quarantine and like you would like how do you connect with like the people around you, like from let's say your studio that you work that you own the studio, sorry, right? So the employees or people that will be regularly in your life. Now it's just through the internet, I guess.
Yeah, it's through the internet and the people which are in my life, like my family, my twin brother. So the connection between us got actually much deeper. And I can say we had conversations we didn't have in also like 20 years.
Wow.
So what I feel is everything is getting much more real in my life actually.
Wow.
With the people close to me, you know.
You know, when you speak about this realization that it's really like it's like an open gate for people to come and re-experience their spiritual life. I immediately remember this one prayer in the Vedic literatures, how a devotee prayers for bad things to happen to him, you know? And it's like, well, you never know when it comes, but when it comes, it's gonna affect you for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's definitely, it's getting deeper in a very positive way. That's for sure.
And how do you help? Like you help them in any particular way in your connection with them? How do you support each other? That's kind of my question, I guess.
Well, the first thing is actually I try to, for example, my parents, I try to take the fear away of this virus thing by showing them like alternative opinions about the virus, and you know, because there are many different analyses about this whole virus thing. So I try to give them like a positive view about this, so they don't feel so much feared and panic anymore. And for example, one thing I did with my parents, I showed them the movie What the Health.
I think I heard something about it.
Yeah, so it's like thing about what you eat, about like meat eating and all this stuff, actually how it destroys your immune system and how the pharma after makes money with that, so on.
So you give them some positive information and engagement too.
Yeah, because if you can change your own approach to the world, like your bad habits, then how you can assume that everything outside is going to change.
That's very
So
true.
that's how I try to help, like with my close people as much as I can, to help them so they can change like things in their life which are really negative, you know.
I really connected to this point you spoke about the change. It reminds me how Albert Einstein, he says you cannot fix the situation if your thinking process is wrong. You have to change the thinking process. So I think
Yeah.
it's something that everyone is connecting to now, that, oh, something is
Mm.
wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can look inside and see how I can,
Exactly.
first of all, change.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, and you there to support with some positive information, because the media, like, that's what I sense too. Like, I stopped pretty much going on the news because they just pumped the numbers and people were
Yeah.
killed
Fear.
here and
Fear.
people
Fear.
died there.
Fear. Yeah.
Fear, yeah.
And that's not the language of health. That's not the language of love. That's the language of destructive.
Mm,
That's the language of nothing positive comes from that.
mm.
So yeah, I think we should stay strong and fight this with positive energy, and after all, with spiritual knowledge, with spiritual realization.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's very important nowadays.
To bring each other closer through, like, now it's difficult to kind of get close because we have this big physical barrier. Like, even if you meet someone, you like I go sometimes here, like, there is a big field here in Alachua that I walk through, but people don't approach each other because everyone's in fear. But this realization is that, like, I so appreciate you here bringing all these things up. I'm sure, like, my and both your audience here on Instagram, they can benefit so much from hearing what we're going through within the mind, within the soul. And we can do that all the time, right? We can share the mind
Yeah,
and appreciate each
exactly.
other.
Yes, yes.
I know that we know each other through the Hare Krishna practice, the Maha Mantra practice, and that's a mantra by itself. But I was wondering if you would like to share with our audience some other mantra that is in your mind that helps you throughout the day, like, I don't know, something like inspirational like that too.
Well, for sure, Maha Mantra it's always in my mind, no?
Jai.
But I'm also very inclined to Lord Shiva,
Mm. Oh.
and he
I was
also
just today actually trying to recite this verse from the Brahma Samhita about Shiva. Uh, I I forgot immediately. Kshirayata dadanti, um, Vikari Vakra Vashanti, something like that.
yeah, and of course Nrsimhadev, which is
Mm.
one name of Nrsimhadev is Raksha Bhuvana.
Mm. What does it mean? Raksha.
It means the savior or the protector of the whole universe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you would meditate on different concepts
Yeah,
or his
but
mantras.
Maha Mantra is definitely always in the mind. No.
Hmm.
Mm.
I try sometimes to, I mean, I have my regular practice of chanting and everything. Like, I think in terms of, like, less is more. Like, we, like,
Yeah,
are almost, like, pushed to have that concept right now. Because, I mean, how much food or toilet paper you can accumulate in your home, right? Like, you're gonna be deprived of your abundance. And finding shelter in feeling complete in less is so liberating, especially now. Like,
yes, yes.
so that's like something that I repeat to myself too. Yeah, speaking about Narsingadev, I saw this epic tattoo the picture of the tattoo that you posted recently. So from people from the audience, from my side that don't know, Nitai Prabhu's page, Om Tat Sat, go and check it out. You also have a website, I suppose, right, of the shop and your artwork.
Yeah, but basically everything is on Instagram.
In
Yeah,
Instagram. Okay,
yeah,
so I invite everyone to go and have some inspiration. And yeah, if you're in Switzerland, or you would travel to. I remember I almost met you in London, I think, last year. You would
yeah,
usually go in
yeah.
September for the convention, right?
London, America,
Ah,
and
okay.
then, but
Maybe,
yeah, for
maybe,
now,
okay, America too. Yeah, maybe one day I'll have an honor to meet you and get a little something from you.
I'm sure I will have to cross once. I'm sure.
Epic. Thank you. Such an honor to feature you here on the Living Monk channel.
Thank you
And
too.
yeah, all the best. Stay healthy, wealthy, and ecstatic like you already are.
Thank
Hare
you. You
Krishna,
too.
Nitai Prabhu.
Hare
You have a
Krishna.
blessed
Haribol.
evening, I suppose, right?
Yep, around 10, I think. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Acha. Hare Krishna. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Haribol.
Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Okay. Ciao.
Govinda Radha Govinda Rup Goswamir Pran Dhana He Rup Goswamir Jaya Radha